Well, it is 11:15 and my mate Andrew has messaged me, so I'll message him in a minute, but it's 11:15 Saturday the 18th of December, and yeah, I'm in the back of the van, as you can see. I'm hoping that everything ain't too bright and my face is all white because I forgot my filter. Yeah, so this is a little bit different start to a video. I'm in the van. I've got my sleeping bag here. I've got a army mat. I've got my cushion mat, sleeping bag, and a water bowl. And I've got my kettle on, cooker on, and yes, I know it's fumes, but I've just got to, I'll open the door once it's done. And yeah, I'm here. So I've got here Saturday, 11:15. Is it 11:15? Jesus, I've been there half an hour. Yeah, I've just come early. Gonna get a couple of hours sleep, and then I shall get out of this van, get all my gear out, bait, make some baits up, and start fishing. My mate might be turning up later. He might not, it all depends, but if he does, he brilliant. If he don't, it's not a problem. It's still good. It's yeah, we're after these cod, and this is quite a good, I've got to stop saying this kettle's boiling, isn't it? It'll spit out everywhere in a minute. Got to get the air out. That'll do. So yeah, what I've done is I've just come early to make sure I get a bay that I want. I've been wanting to fish bay 19 now for quite a while, and that's where I am, bay 19. So it's a bit weird start to the video. You will get a different start because obviously you'll see me out there, won't you? Now this is all hot, isn't it? So before I can go to sleep, I've got to wait for that to cool down. Unless I put it up there. Put that there. Ow! Better put that on top of the bait. Loosen that up again just to make sure it doesn't melt. Right, so my water bottles are in there, my phone's there, kettle. Yeah, so I've got here Saturday, as I've just said. I'm going to have a couple of hours in there, and then I should get everything out, get set up, and then I should jump over the side and start fishing. Put the ladder underneath my van so that I can lay in there and sleep. So here's all my setup, so you can see. Fishing boxes over there. I've got my rods and rod rest up top. And I've brought my old boots because my feet got that cold last time that I've got 2 or 3 pairs of socks on my feet, and they won't fit in my other boots because I bought size 7 because the size 8 were too floppy. But if I put 2 pairs of socks on in these 7s, they're too tight. So I've brought my old ones. So when it's really cold, I'm normally at the river and I'll just bring my old boots. They've got puncture repair kits on, so it should all be okay. I will stop saying it's just a disease. You know, one of them things when you get into a habit and it's just, it eats away at me. I've only just realised in the last couple of videos, and I keep trying to stop saying but it's just one of them things, isn't it? What else do you say? Sometimes you start spieling off a lot of talk when you're on camera, and it just goes quite naturally, and then other times there's things you want to say but you can't say, and you have to put in an or a I don't know, something else, but it's just the way it is. So yeah, so this is what I'm doing. So now you know, I've driven here, I'm going to sleep in this van. It is cold, my legs keep going cold. I've got thermals on, but I've got 2 water bottles now in this sleeping bag, and I know it should be warm. It's going to be comfy on this mat. When I'm in, I let some air out of the mat, and it just gets it so it's just buoyant for my weight. And we'll talk more about my weight when I come back, but yeah. So this is what I'm doing. This is what sometimes we have to do. It's December. I've just said again. It's December. It is cold outside. When I last looked at the temperature on the van, it was 4 degrees. So it ain't too bad. I've been at 6 degrees in there with the wife, and we just had a sleeping bag undone over the pair of us, and that was cold. But I've actually got my own sleeping bag, hot water bottles, and I should be alright. I was alright last time, so I should be alright this time. And yeah, that's enough of this. Next time you see me, I'll be getting my gear ready. So we're at the River Humber, 18th of December. It's a 6.7 metre tide at 5:48, 6 AM in the morning. And hopefully we'll get a codling, because they are coming out. It's just that I'm never here at the right time, but I'm putting the effort in. If I come 2 or 3 times a week, I'd have had a codling by now, but I just can't warrant having that many videos waiting to be put up, because you'll still be watching me at winter time on the Humber in spring, so can't have that. So I have to limit it. So, and anyhow, if you go fishing too much, you just fish yourself out, and you just need a break. So, and then next time you see me, I will be fishing. Tom will edit this so that there's less of this and it's cut, so it looks good. So see you in a bit. And yeah, it'll still be dark, I'm afraid. Oh dear. Well, I've been asleep. I don't know what time is now. I'll tell you what time is, because I can tell you how cold it is. Oh, can't see. It's better. Right, now then, we're in the van. The time is 3:40. I did have a sleep by half an hour. It took me 40 minutes to get going because it's so cold. It's 2.5 degrees. Went to sleep at 4 degrees. And yeah, now it's 2.5 degrees. It's the 19th of December, and I was still saying all the time, but that's the end of that. So 19th of December, 4:30, or what time did I just say it was? See, I ain't woke up properly yet, so I'm still in a little bit of dream world. I've got to know what the time is. I can't talk to you and not know what the time is. 3:40, thank God for that. So it's 3:40. High tide this morning is at 10 to 6, and it's a 6.7 metre tide. Oh dear. I've got my rods out. I've got my Vercelli KWs, which I've put new rings on, so they got larger rings. I've got my Penn Spin Fisher reels, my long cast. I've got a pulley pennel rig. I shall show you. Pulley pennel rig, very short one. Got 2 of those out, and on this rod, 3-up flapper. Just got to make sure that we don't blank. Baits today are squid, carp, bit ropey, lugworm, and in the bag I've got some mussels. just to try in case things aren't working out. So, and what I'm not looking forward to now is the fact that I've got to take these gloves off, which aren't doing a great job, make a load of baits up, which I ain't looking forward to because my hands are going to get froze. Normally I'd be over the side by now, but the water's coming in, it ain't far off the bottom of the wall, so I could chuck out now really. So I am behind because I woke up half hour early, late. My hand warmers, well, normally they work really well, but at the minute one of them is being a bit ropey to light, which often is the case with hand warmers. Zippo ones, they normally take 2 or 3 times to light, and that's it really. So I've got to crack on. I've got to get some baits on that flapper, get it out, and let's hopefully, well, not hopefully, let's hope that I catch a fish on it. That's the blank sorted, and that gives me time to make up some big baits for the pennel rigs, which will be stuffed squid. And yeah, I'm getting a bit paranoid now. I keep saying it is foggy. It is very foggy. It is cold. God knows what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm bringing you a video, aren't I? So yeah, here I am, 2.5 degrees at 3:40 on a Saturday morning, and Sunday morning, and I've been there since last night. You saw was me in the van. I slept well. I did sleep well. Didn't take me long to get off either. I did hear some cars come, but obviously that's because I overslept, I'd say, and the cars were coming down getting ready to fish. I thought the cars were driving down there at stupid o'clock on Saturday. So yeah, so I've had a good sleep. Wasn't cold. I had 2 hot water bottles in my sleeping bag, but it's only a summer sleeping bag. We couldn't find the stuff sack for my winter one, so we shall get that winter one, and I found it now just as I was about to leave the house. Karen found it, that be the wife, and yeah, I'll have that next time, but it's a bigger bag. Yeah, that water's in. Right, I'm gonna have to let you go at the minute. I shall be back in a minute. It will be a blink of an eye for you, it'll be longer for me, but I need to get that rig baited up, get it chucked out. See you in a bit. It's foggy. Oh dear. Are you just fishing for cod then, or are you fishing for flatfish as well?
No, for cod. I was only fishing for cod yesterday.
I've got
They must have been swimming round Shanker Hook.
Yeah? What, that many?
I've got big hooks on.
Oh right. Can't bloody see, can you?
No. It was thick with fog when we come yesterday. We couldn't see 50 yards in front of us.
There's a high over us apparently. A high.
Yeah.
And that's what's creating all this fog.
Like I say, we couldn't see 50 yards in front of us as we were coming. Going home, we could see for miles. I got back for 10 o'clock and I was at club for 10:15.
Yeah.
Till 12. Our last order was at 12.
Oh dear.
What you got on, squid and worm?
Squid and carp, that.
Squid and what?
Carp. Carp. Never heard of carp? No. Carp wings. You know brown edible crabs?
Yeah.
You know, in the boot of the crab, the head, it's they call it wings. I call it nice food to eat, but they take them and they take the wings out, and then all the rest of the crab they mash up, and that's called carp. But I've got wings in this. It's this here, look. Oh. And I just stuff it in the squid.
Yeah.
Squeeze all the guts out, put that in, all muscle, all worm, and then that's what goes on.
I've done it with mussel.
Yeah.
That squid round mussel.
Well, a carp is brown crab. It's
Yeah.
about a couple of quid for a wing, which is like that. So it's not bad. They all use them up north. Don't mean they work, but something else in it. It's a cheaper alternative than a fresh peeler crab, I think.
But we know mussel works.
I wish my eyes worked.
No, I'm the same.
I've got my glasses there, but they'll be just a pain. Oh dear.
That's how I do it.
Yeah, I remember when I started work, everyone used to bring the Verns to me for me to read what the numbers were, and it's now role reversal now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm afraid to say. It's great getting old, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I used to do a lot of course fishing through at night time, straining my eyes. I've been out lamping all night for rabbits.
Yeah.
So that ain't done my eyes no favour. Straining them down thick, trying to see too far. So
You used to work down the pit, did you?
yeah.
I wish them days were back. I'm getting fed up with this government talking about battery cars and stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alright, trying to get everybody to run off fucking batteries. They're struggling with fucking power stations as it is.
Well, I think I'll be struggling because as soon as we go to battery cars, the price of them, how on earth am I going to afford to jump in my van and go fishing? I ain't going to be able to, am I?
Look,
I ain't going to be able to, am I? So
yeah.
that'll be the, of course, let's
Yeah.
drag that round, isn't it?
Yeah. Of course you can still do it, just plug it into the lamp bulb. That's what I told next door neighbour. We've got lamp posts straight outside the house. This one extension off it, two crocodile out, so it's still laughing. You know, you're kidding, this is a man.
Oh
We get shafted every time we buy something, so we might as well have something back.
Things are costing more money now, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's pulling in, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a good idea.
So the last time I come fishing here, it was only on a small tide, same tide as
Yeah,
what this
yeah,
is,
yeah.
exactly the same tide as this.
Yeah, you hang straight.
Yeah.
This is a 6-7, so it will pull.
But it's not that big, is it? I've fished a 6-7 2 weeks ago and my weight's never moved.
Yeah,
I
well,
come last week and it was doing this,
Yeah.
racking it round.
Well, you've got all the shit on your line.
Oh yeah,
pushing
right.
it. You know, when that shit's not falling about, it's alright.
I think I'll check that one out when I bring the other one in and check what's it. I
just-
can see the red pool, so I know where I'm going to cast.
That's it. I'll just give that 10 minutes.
Yeah. Bring it in and
bring
check
it
it
in.
out.
And see how much crap you've got on it.
Yeah. So if it stops as the tide coming.
Well, I tell you, it should slow down as it gets near the top.
Yeah, I'm normally over the side fishing, but it's got up a bit late.
But yeah, no, and I say, yesterday when we packed in, we got loads of bait left.
Yeah.
That's why I've come back tonight. I've got some fresh worms. I didn't even bother putting squid back in freezer.
Right.
I've got full squid on. Like I say, I've got my brothers there. I've set it up.
Is he coming or?
He keeps saying it, and then oh, my back's gone, or something else. And when I don't bring his gear, he turns up and expects to use one of my rods.
He'll be tucked up in bed now if he's got any sense.
Yeah.
Is he and Donny as well?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right. In there, I had a sleeping bag in there, sleeping mat, 2 hot water bottles. As a matter of fact, I've got a hot water bottle shoved in there. Come the other week and boy was it cold, it rained all the time. Frost to bits.
I'll tell you what's better than that.
What?
You know, bacon foil.
Yeah.
Wrap it round it, you put tape on it and then put your jumper over the top.
Right.
It traps heat in.
Yeah. I'm gonna have some sausages in the morning. I think I'll be chucking myself in the pan.
No,
Keeps you warm.
yeah, it traps all heat in. It's only the same as them face blankets what they use on ambulances and that.
Yeah, I suppose it is, isn't it? Yeah.
It's just a bit dumpy when you're moving about. But it keeps you warm.
Yeah.
It's the same you've got wellies on. You know when it's freezing cold.
Yeah. Let me just get this on. Right. I'll come behind you.
I'll watch for all on your line in case you need to go up.
Yeah, it's on it. Look. That's gone. Little dab.
Hooray!
That's a bloody blank of her, innit? Come on, my girl.
Yeah,
All that huge bite, innit? They're quite a powerful fish,
You
aren't
haven't
they?
got that much crap on it, is it?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to get locked in now. Just go back.
One little dab. Hey, Goolan. Look at that, it's a monster fish. It was a big bite, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You thought it was a cod, didn't you?
I thought it was bigger than that.
Yeah. Little feisty little buggers, aren't they? What's your name, mate?
No.
Tom. Nice meeting you, mate.
Yeah.
Give us a shout if you catch a cod.
Oh, I'll blow on my whistle.
Yeah. Good luck, mate. First cast, and yeah, caught a dab. I personally thought that fish might have been bigger than that as well, but it's the way it goes. We've caught a fish. It's new blank. Let's get this big bait out now. There's no weed. Tom said there was weed coming in, and he's pulled both his lines in because there was too much weed. So hopefully that weed has passed, and now it's just going to be pleasant fishing. So what I'll do now is I'll chuck the other rod out, which is baited up with a pulley pennel, 4-row hooks. There we go again. Yeah, 4-row hooks. I've got squid and carp on there. My squid hasn't defrosted yet, so once that's defrosted I shall get that stripped out, fill it up with some skunk, bait elastic it, get some baits ready. Right. There we go. Cracking little dab. So we'll get her chucked back. No blank. That's the main thing. One little dab. Well, I don't know if you heard earlier, but when I went over that side to get my bucket of water, I was walking down. I've got my green boots on tonight because I've got quite a few pairs of socks on so my feet don't get cold. And my other boots are brilliant, apart from I can't put more than one pair of socks, thick socks on. Feet get too tight in it. So I was walking down the side and both feet just went from under me, and I kid you not, my feet were up in the air and I was on my back. Luckily, because the slope is that way, going like that, I didn't have so far to fall as if I was on the flat ground like this. My headlamp flew off and was pointing up in the sky, and Tom went over to see, because he could see the light, and thought, what's happened there? And I was there going to my back going, oh, like that. So yeah, pity that weren't caught on camera, eh? That would have been a laugh. Alright, so I'll bring you back in a bit. Well, we'll get that chucked out, shall we? Where's that one? That one's already out there. We'll cast this one out, shall we? Right, so I'll bring you back in a bit. Yeah, I shall be back in a bit. I'm gonna sort my gear out, get some baits done. It's too dark to do them and show you. There's plenty of channels out there that show you how to do bait. All I do is squeeze the guts out of the squid, shove stuff in the squid, bait elastic it up, shove a bait needle down, put it on the thing. Let's see if we catch some codlin, because Tom caught some codlin yesterday, or his brother, and it'd be nice to catch a codlin there before I go back on the beaches, wouldn't it? Because I don't want people saying that you're always fishing at the river, Vern, because when you do that, when you say, Vern, you're always at the river, I go back throughout my catalogue and count how many times I've fished at the river and how many times I've fished at the beach, and the beach always wins. I shall be back in a bit. Oh, for God's sake. Oh. What do you like, boy? Back in a bit. Well, you heard it air first, didn't you? You heard it air first. I'm in 19, Bay 19, as you know, and Tom, who's not my Tom, another Tom, he come down from Bay 20. He's fishing now, I think. but you heard it here. Top tip for keeping warm during winter: wrap yourself in bacon foil. Now, it all makes sense because you get the silver blankets, don't you, like Tom said? But it would be quite a struggle wrapping yourself around with bacon foil. It would have to be an extreme cold night for you to do that, because I think you'd get through a lot of bacon foil. I could just imagine me with bacon foil, wrapping it round me on my own with a bit of sticky tape, getting all stuck around my fingers that are frozen I can't feel, and the bacon foil keeps ripping or crunching up, so you got gaps. But yeah, I know people that get newspaper and shove it up the coat and everything, but I think I'd just put another layer on. But yeah, top tip for you: if you're really cold and you're desperate, bacon foil, wrap it around your body. Another thing, like I said earlier on, is I was watching a program on YouTube, a builder bloke. He's absolutely fantastic. I forget his name, and he said, eat your crisps, rip the packet in half and put it in the bottom of your boots and stick your feet in. Your feet won't get cold. So there's another top tip. So that's 2 top tips from Verns Sea Fishing this week. I ain't had a rant yet. I fell over on my back as though I was ippon-throwed by a grand Japanese master at judo. You wouldn't believe it. And I didn't get mad, did I? But I got my old boots on because of my sock issue, but I've got no cold big toe, which is a good thing. Got my hurricane lamp on to try and light up the van, but it don't work, because hurricane lamps, as we all know, are absolutely crap. And that was the first light I started off fishing with when I was a young boy, and I think it was $2.99 or $3.99, something like that. That one was £32. Got it because I quite like them and always wanted to get another one. I can't find mine. I guess mum threw it out. And yeah, it looks nice. That's about it. Does it give off much light? Not when it's smoked up like that. No. Can I get my finger in there to clean it? No. I'll have to have a look and see how to do that. But should have brought my anchor lamp, because that's the brightest one up to now. Right, so situation report. Sit rep. This is a Vernon thing on Verns Sea Fishing. Sit rep. Been doing it for many months, if not years. So sit rep at the minute is 5:10, and it doesn't look like my mate's coming. So it's 5:10 and I've had a dab. Now high water is in 40 minutes. Where's that time gone? The last time I talked to you about the time, it was 3:40, and now it's 5:10. Where's that just gone? That's just disappeared. I've made up 3 big baits for cod. All I can see when I look at them lights is a green square, because I'm staring at these bloody lights. Yeah, so it looks like I'm fishing on my own, which is alright because it's foggy out there. I can't see nothing. I can just make out the red lantern at the end of that outfall pipe, or whatever it is. Yeah, I keep looking at them rods. I can't see nothing because all I've got is, from the light on this camera, is a green square everywhere. So that's me night vision buggered, isn't it? Yes, that is a foghorn. That's because it's foggy. Got to drive home in this, but at least it'll be daylight. Hand warmers are now all lit. It's not been bad. It's only took 2 hours to get the third one lit, and it is now lit, so I can now feel it. My hands are nice and warm. If your hands are warm, you're okay. I haven't put me waterproof bottoms on because it's not raining. There's just this fine mist from the fog, which is just fog really. It's not say it's a fine mist, it's the fog. But hey, Blank's out the way. I'm chuffed about that. Sorry I couldn't run round the bay. I had to try and control my excitement at catching a dab. I have caught quite a few dabs just lately, and whiting, and the excitement of catching them is sort of like waning a little bit. I do enjoy catching them. It's always good to catch. It's great to get the blank out of the way. But with Tom here and the chap from Bay 20 and another dab, I had to sort of like try and control myself. I didn't want to run around the bay like a lunatic, and yeah, don't normally control myself. I normally just let myself go. Yes, these hand warmers are now burning my hands, so that's good. They're now getting at full temperature. Let's get them done up so I don't touch the top bit. That was the big bait. That was the big bait. Let's get this. Oh, the bloody hurricane lamp. So I've walked into it again. Right, this left hand rod, the rod closest to you, just bobbed. But I'm going to reel the right hand rod in because that bobbed as well. There it go again. Now that one, the rod closest to you, has got my big squid bait on. Oh, you can only hope, can't you? You can only hope there's a codlin on that. I ain't bothered how big it is. Could be tiny for all I care. Just remember, it's the 19th of December, so if you see this codlin, I caught it on the 19th. Not in January when it goes up. It's not cold. I'm going to leave that in case it's a big fish, a little fish. It'll be just my luck. It'll be a dab, won't it? Fish on that. Oh, oh, it's all going wrong now. Bloody rigs fell in there now. Well, I seriously thought there was a fish on that because it was tap, 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 tap. But obviously, Tom said there was some crabs out there. So these hand warmers don't feel warm when your hands are cold, but as soon as your hands warm up, they're warm. Right, let's get that out. Got a full squid on that with carp. Little torpedo bomb. She's there. Well, them rods can go bang, 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 bang like that before I reel it in for a fish, because that wasn't a fish. No, it's my chapstick here. Wondered where that had gone. So, yeah, it must be crabs out there. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? You'd think they'd have sodded off to deeper water, where it's even colder, wouldn't you? Mind you, I guess that water's bloody warmer than the ambient temperature here. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. If anyone knows, leave it in the comments. And I seem to think if it's 2.5 degrees here and the water's 8, if it is 8 degrees, I mean, I wouldn't want to fall in it, because if you was to fall in it, you'd be a bit wet and cold and you'd bloody die, wouldn't you? But oh, I'm a bit miffed about that. I thought there was a fish on there then. With the first cast catching the dab, I thought I might have had another. Anyhow, what I shall do is I'll be back in a bit. Right, we're going to reel this left hand rod in now and see what's on it. I don't think there's anything on it. We've had a couple of knocks, so it could be crabs just tugging at the bait. So we'll get this reeled in and see what's on it and put a fresh bait on. As if you don't know what I'm going to do, I mean, I'm now going to walk to my rods and then I'm going to pick it up and start twirling the handle and reel it in. Because you know that's what I'm going to do, because it's all fishermen that watch it. But that bit of advice was for the people that aren't fishermen and they just come across this channel called Verns Fishing. And they think, cool, what's that lad doing in that cold weather, out there in the dark, fighting the extremities of the weather, just to try and catch a codlin to bring it to my viewers, the people that follow Verns Fishing or stumble across the channel. Yeah, so that bit of advice was for the people that stumble across and don't know a lot about fishing. But yeah, I'm walking to these rods. Oh, and by the way, whilst we're here and at it, don't forget to go along to Verns Fishing. Well, you're already here, aren't you? Because you're watching. So that's a load of crap, isn't it? Don't forget, if you got this far, or you stumbled on it and you're thinking, what's he doing walking over to them rods, which I've just explained, please consider subscribing. Click that bell for all notification. Because sometimes, Andrew Jones, I go live, don't I? My best mate. And leave a comment, leave us a thumbs up. If you like this channel, just consider subscribing. If you don't like it, like Danny says, just click on it and subscribe and don't watch it. Yeah. That's got to be the best phrase I've ever heard. It's free, which is what I say anyhow, and so does Danny. It's free to subscribe. But then Danny went and said, you don't even have to watch it. But it's good if you do watch it, because I like the comments. So yeah, anyhow, let's get this reeled in, shall we? Because I'm just waffling on. So we pick the rod up like that, get it in between her legs, because it's all wet. Turn your light on. Oh, right. I saw that white on the hook and I thought I've got a fish. And I thought, but it don't feel heavy. It's a bit of plastic bag, isn't it? It'll go in the bag ready to take on with the rest of the rubbish. Let's get this rig changed, get it chucked out. I'm chucking this out probably 30 yards, that's it. I've got a 3-hook flapper rig on. Let's get another dab, flounder, anything really. Time is sit rep 5:55. It is high water. We are now in slack tide. That means it's not coming in much and it's not going out much. Very little wind. It is cold. We'll get this chucked out 30 yards because them dabs, flounder, they all come in over the mud that gets exposed to see what's about. And that's what we're going to catch. So now we're going to chuck over that way. I've been casting to the right because the tide's coming in, and now the tide has stopped. I'm going to cast to the left. Chuck that too far. Bloody idiot. Well, I think I'm spoiling you tonight. I mean, there's all these videos out at the minute with tips, isn't there? And I've already given you one tip, and that was the bait foil. Wrap it round you to keep you warm. Well, I'll give you another tip, and that is keep your bloody hands warm, because if your hands get cold, you are buggered. So I've got 2 hand warmers here, and I've got a charcoal stick one here. I've got the original charcoal stick still, not got many left, but I've still got them. They light very easy. The ones you buy now, God knows what they're made of, like a briquette from a barbecue. Very hard to light, but I've got 3 hand warmers in this pocket. So, glove for casting. Can't afford a breakaway cannon, so I use a glove. And 3 hand warmers in my pocket, in my kangaroo in this pocket. It's fleece lined, and it just warms your hands up and stop them going all achy and numb. So top tip for Vern, fishing in this weather, 2.5 degrees, get some hand warmers, shove them in your pocket, keeps your hands warm. I don't know if I've told you, but I fell over when I went over the wall, straight onto my back. My feet went up and I went down like that, just like that. Feet up. Can't do feet up because I'll be over, so my feet went up like that and I went back. Whoa, straight on me back. But I'm alright, nothing hurts. I've got a little bit of a pain in the middle of my shoulder. I expect it'll grow and it'll be worse by tomorrow, but I'm okay. I don't want anybody to worry about me. I'm okay. I mean, if I weren't okay, I'd still be lying down there, wouldn't I? And I'd have been washed out by the tide by now, dying of hypothermia. The rod's juddering, I don't know what for, but it is juddering. Right, So basically we're here to catch codling. Any other fish we catch is a byproduct, but it's greatly received because I ain't a specimen fisherman. I don't even know if I could ever catch a specimen. I just like to catch fish, but I am here trying to catch codling. I don't care how big it is. It can be the size of a sardine for all I care. I don't care. I just want to catch a codling. I want to get it put to bed. I did catch a codling in April or March, whatever it was. So I have caught a codling this year, but it was a long while ago. It's now cod season again. I need to catch another one. It would be nice to catch one today. It would be nice to catch it this side of New Year. But if I don't, you don't, do you? It's just one of them things. But I am here trying to catch it. I've got squid out there stuffed with carp. I've got black lug and squid, and which is what I'm using, strips and bits of black lug on the free flapper. I can catch a codling on a free flapper. It only takes a small one to come along or a big one. It don't matter. They'll soon swallow it if they're hungry. But yeah, that's what we're after. We're after a codling. Be nice to catch a few more fish. Ain't bothered if it's dabs, flounders, rockland, I don't care. But primarily we're after a codling. It would be nice if it was summertime and the sun was coming up now and you could feel a bit of warmth on your back, but it's not that time of year, I'm afraid. It isn't until you get into these middle into winter, which it's not winter yet because today's date is the 19th, isn't it? Yeah, so we've got 2 more days before winter officially starts, which is the shortest day, and then after then all the nights start pulling out. And I know it takes a while before they start getting brighter earlier, but at least we're heading in the right direction. From the 21st, that's the shortest night, and it all starts getting longer after then, and we're then on our way into spring. But we've still got 3 months of winter, haven't we? So roll on March the 21st or 23rd, is it? Start of spring. Everyone will be moaning there's no fish about. Well, there ain't too many about now. The chap from Bay 19 has just walked down to me and said, have you had out? And I said, yeah, I've caught a dab. He said, we've had nothing. So I'm feeling pretty good. When I last spoke to Tom, he hadn't caught anything in Bay 20. The chaps in Bay 18 haven't caught anything, but I have. So I'm here for you. I've caught fish. That's good for me. I feel quite good, really, to be honest. If they're all blanking and I've caught, there's probably somebody down at Bay 27 or 6 or 28 who've actually pulled in cod. But I've been wanting to come down to Bay 19 for quite a while, and every time I come there's always someone in here. So got here tonight, no one here, parked up and went to sleep in the van, and the rest is history. You're watching the video, so I ain't got a clue what these rods are doing. Every time I turn around to the rods, I've got a green square in front of my eyes. Can't see the rod tips, so I'll just finish talking to you because we're having a natter. We're having a natter. But yeah, like this year, it's been probably, for me, most people would say all my fishing trips are the worst. But this year, compared to last, has been quite poor for me. Where I caught all my fish, or a lot of my fish last year, I couldn't get onto that cliff for some reasons and other reasons, if that makes sense. It does to me. And hopefully this year, after the winter, some of the cliff will have fell down so I can actually get down there and fish again, because it's a good mark. But I haven't caught a smooth hound this year. I haven't even caught a ray this year. But I have caught a tope, which I was chuffed about, but that was more luck than anything else. So next year coming, It would be nice to catch a smooth hound next year. It would also be nice to catch a ray. If I don't get a codlin this year, let's hope we get one in January, February, March. But I said last year, didn't I, when I caught that 60cm cod, I'll probably not ever catch another. It was a fish of a lifetime, that was. I was really chuffed to catch that fish, and I wanted to return it, which I did. Swam off. It's probably been caught since then, but you like to think that it's got 6 times the size and it's still swimming about out there creating more cod. So I don't even think if I was to catch, well, I don't, do I? If I catch a fish and it's not doing very well, then I'll take them for the table, but if it can be returned, it'll go back all the time. So I'm gonna have to turn around and get my eyes sorted to night vision again, like I'm a sniper, and so I can see these rod tips, because I did have a couple of little knocks, but it could be the weight rolling. I don't think it is. Could be crab. Anyhow, go along to my old mate Danny Shore Fishing. Check Danny out. He's a lovely chap. He's just got past 500 subscribers. I think he's on 508 now. Go check him out. He's a nice chap. He does a video whenever he can. He hasn't been too well just lately, so his videos have been short, but he's going to start piling some more videos out. Go check Danny out. Give him a subscribe. He's a nice bloke. Go check out Oldness Codfather and my old mate Scott, Hardcore Fisherman. Same old three, you know. There are others I can mention. I'll be here all night. There's so many YouTubers now, it's unbelievable. Ooh, I've got a bite, Let's get this turned off. I'll be back in a bit. Right, well, nothing on that. Never mind. That nodded a few times 10 minutes ago, and I just left it just in case it's a flounder or a dab or something. Nothing on it, bait's not even touched, so could be lumps of weed, but there's no weed on it, so didn't have some weed, could have knocked it, but it would have been caught on the rig. So I can only think there's a few crabs out there tugging on the baits. Let's get this chucked out. I've got a cod bait on there now. I can't do enough ground cast there, it's too cold. I'm cold, even though my hands are warm. It's just, I don't want to do anything that's gonna jeopardize me doing something wrong. So I'm gonna launch this out here with another red thump out there. Alan, I am constantly casting, practicing casting every day. I am now feeling what muscle memory is now, so that there is no way that I'm messing up my casting. As soon as I'm on the beach, I'll go through the rigmarole, put my lead down and cast it. I've done a few videos where I'm doing that, and even though I'm doing cheeky chucks, I'm still casting okay. Well, I'm casting really well. in my opinion. And I'm now feeling that muscle memory, so I'm actually feeling it all to do it. But I can't see out there, I don't know where I'm going. I don't want to cast too far into that metal pipe, because if I do, I'll get snagged up. I can't even see the red light on the end of the outfall pipe, or whatever it is. So we'll get this out. We've got a large squid on there with cart, stabbed holes in it. Let's get this chucked out as far as I can, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to concentrate. I'll probably put one of the cod rigs away, keep one out all the time, and just concentrate on flappers. But then again, I've just pulled in my flapper with fresh bait on and had nothing on that either. So perhaps it's one of them sessions again that isn't going to bring up much fish at all. And my old mate will go Monday morning, Dave, and he'll send me 2 pictures of codling that he's pulled out, because that's normally the case. There is fish in this river. There are fish being caught in this river of certain sizes. There's no big killer ones like last year, but there are cod here. You just got to be here nearly every day to pull them out. Right, quick update. I am using the baits that I've been taught to use to catch cod here, or what other people use. The big cod I caught on prawn last year, but I'm using squid and carp, squid and black lug combos, large baits, large hooks. I'm also using a 3-hook flapper because I don't want a blank, which I haven't done. I've caught a dab. I'm chucking it out the distance that I keep getting told how far to chuck it. So I'm doing everything that I've been told. I've just chucked that one out further. If I was to cast off the ground here and could see what I'm doing and I weren't so cold, I'd be able to get it out further. But if you cast too far in this bay, you can get in trouble. So you can cast far in this bay, you just got to cast in the right direction. And sometimes I can't see where that direction is because it's so foggy. You might not think it's foggy, but it is foggy. So that's the situation report. And my hand warmers feel as though they're getting cold. I think the stick one, the carbon stick one's going out. Right, I'm gonna refresh these baits on this 3-hook flapper. I've just realised that I just said again, and I'm afraid to say it's just the way it is. I can't stop saying it. It just comes out. I don't know why. Perhaps it's because I'm not saying the word, saying something else, which is like a naughty potty mouth sort of word, like a sweary word. Like crumbs. So yeah, let's get this bait freshened up on this 3-hook flapper. We'll get it hung up on the tripod. I might put the kettle on actually and have a cup of tea or a coffee. I brought my cafetiere, I've got milk, so yeah, I might actually have a coffee. Time is now 6:38. Dave has messaged me. Dave was supposed to turn up today at 4:30 I think, but he's got airport runs to do, and if I did an airport run I think I'd get or be heading and I'd be thinking, right, I'm going to bed. Sorry Vern, he slept through his alarm. I don't blame you, Dave. I slept through my alarm as well in the van. I don't know how I didn't wake up, but I woke up late. Dave is going to come here at half 4 and fish with me, but he slept through his alarm and he's just woke up. Well, like I say, I don't blame you, mate. Get yourself some porridge and then finish it off with some eggs and bacon. Should be back in a minute. I'm going to refresh the rig. You already know that because I've just told you 6 times. I'm going to refresh that rig, 7, and then I shall come back. We shall reel one of them rods in with a fish on, and if we don't, I'll just get colder and colder. I could have put my bottoms on, my salopettes, me bib and brace, whatever you want to call it, but I forgot. So, well, I couldn't be asked. Well, it weren't a case I couldn't be asked. As soon as I put them on, because they are really good, but as soon as I put them on, I ain't got access to my pockets, which is a bit of a nightmare. See you in a bit. So I'm going to reel that right hand rod in because the left hand one that I've just chucked out is swinging round because the tide's going out now and it's pulling. So don't understand it really. It's only a 6.7, but I need to get this right hand rod in before it goes over. I think that's out short, the other's out long. Longish. Loads of weed on my line now. Gonna have to pull it off carefully. I wouldn't advise doing that, but if you're very careful with the pliers you can pull that weed off. Right, this is going to be a short cast. Right, the bait is still on my pulley pennel, which was squid stuffed with carp. I've got one more to go on. We're going to keep fishing for cod. Going to do some squid and lug wraps next. Oh, you just have to try things, don't you? It's just one of them things. I've heard of people that go fishing 4 or 5 times a week, and the rest of the time they dig bait, but top draw to them. I think I'd fish myself out if I was to go fishing that much. You have to go fishing, or I have to go fishing when I'm feeling like it. Do you know what I mean? So once you have a session, don't you don't want to go again, do you, straight away? But then you start getting the urge to go. But some people go every day. I do believe those are the people that catch quite a few fish, because they're there every day, aren't they, on different tides, and they might find those fish that are being a little bit elusive. I've just cast that rod out. I didn't even reel in. I might have returned it a couple of times, but I didn't even reel in the slack. I just let the weight hit the bottom and settle, and it's gripped. It's not moving. There's another good tip for you. Cast it out and let it sort itself out, and it'll take the slack up, or it does in this river anyhow. Oh, bloody fuzz to the bone. It's not too bad. Got a bloody cat here somewhere. Some cats. Oh. Oh, that's me face all now. It's gonna stink of fish in it. Should be back in a bit. I need to turn my heater on and warm up again. Right, that rod there is the rod that I chucked out to the left, and I give it a bit more of a wallop. It's only a red cast. I didn't chuck it out any further. Well, I was going to say any further than that, but it was another red cast, but I did give it more than normal. So it went out further than 60 yards. Now with the tide, it's ripped round. It's pulled it round to the right, and I did think about it. I did realise, but then I started thinking about something else. It's obviously got caught round that pipe work to my right. I know I should have reeled it in, but I didn't. As soon as you think about it, you think about something else, don't you? So it's got snagged round that, I would say. There's nothing else out there apart from that pipe. And it's just now broke off. I have got loads of red weed on my line. That rod's now dead. The tide is dropping out pretty quick, so the tide is pulling. So I'm fishing one rod now. Now the thing is, do I keep the fruit flapper on and just use that, or do I get my cod bait on? Well, I'm going to put my cod bait on, but that just goes to show at this river that when the tide is ripping, and it is going out quick now, if you cast a long way, as far as you can cast, if I was to do an off the ground cast here now, in this bay, that would have pulled me round quicker. I could have rescued that, to be honest. If I'd reeled it in 5-10 minutes ago, I could have saved that, but I didn't. If I'd cast it out off the ground and chucked it out over 100 yards out, it would have hit that pipe sooner, because the pipe goes across the bay. So I'd have been snagged anyhow. That's the reason why here you don't have to cast out a long way. If the fish are there, they'll find your bait 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 yards. If it whips right round, that whipped round right quick. It was all right, and then all of a sudden it went. So it would have been the weed that was on it, and it just got snagged up. So what I'm saying is, if I'd cast it out with an off the ground cast here in this bay, I'd have probably got snagged sooner, to be honest. And I'd be having a lot of trouble with the tide going in, ripping it to the left, or going out, ripping it to the right. So small chucks now. Let's try and pick up some more dabs. There's got to be something out there. I don't think the lads have still caught anything down there, and I don't think Tom has either. So yeah, let's show you all this weed. It's not a lot, but it's enough to even bung my eyes up on my rod. So that's the weed. It's nothing major. I've got some weed down the bottom. This is my next bait to chuck out. You can see by the weight, it's a big bait. They're all squid heads. They're all squid heads put together, and I've got 2 black lugs on it as well. That's going to go out short. I'm going to get this sorted. I've lost the leader. I will have to check my main line when I get home to see if I need to cut it back if it's rough. But I just run my finger down the main line, and where it's not rough, I cut it there and tie the tapered leader back on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this main line, and yeah, I can't be bothered to tie another main line on. Now that sounds bad, but the time is 7:20. I can't believe where the time has gone. It's 7:20 and it's still dark, which you would expect for the next 2 more days, wouldn't you? And then it's going to get light, isn't it? Because 21st of December is the shortest day. But it's been a great night. I ain't finished yet. I've still got a rod out. I shan't let that swing round to the right. It just went all of a sudden. In fact, it pulled my rod round nearly off the rod rest. Very rarely do I cock up like that at this River Humber and lose my gear, but it's happened today. I remember coming to this bay when I didn't know about the snags here, and because I come at high water, I didn't know what was out there. Getting snagged all the time, losing loads of gear. But you learn, don't you? And I would say in 8 or 9 trips here in this bay. This is probably the first one I've lost it. Don't mean I ain't lost gear everywhere else, but one of my new rigs tied as well. That's a bit disappointing, isn't it? I'll have to tie another one when I get them. Right, let's clear all this line off here. I don't know if I might leave this camera on actually. Yeah, look at that. The line looks as though the line is twisted round, as though that was hooked around something like this. Looks like it was round some, so I was pulling on this on the snag and then it snapped because the end of that, the end of this line looks as though it's twisted round. But yeah, that's the seaweed. Get that over there. When I say I can't be bothered to tie a leader on, it's because I tie a far better leader at home. But that's not even the issue either, because I can tie it here, it's not a problem. I've done it plenty of times. Tide's going out. It's going to mean I'm going to have to jump over the side and fish. Now, if it was daylight, I'd be over there. See, next week's video is me and Tom fishing the second part of our trip, and in the morning we jump over the side and fish. So I would do that, but it's dark and there's not a lot about. I've had a great night fishing here. It is cold. I am warm, but I can feel my feet are biting a little bit, but not cold like last time me and Tom were fishing, and Tom had to go home early. I don't think my toe defrosted out the next day on my right foot. I don't know why that got so cold. Bought some new thermal socks, wool socks. So I've got 2 pairs of socks on, they're doing really well. So even if I tie a leader on that, what will happen is this water will go out. It then means I've got to jump over, and I ain't prepared to jump over today. If it was daylight, I'd be over. But we'll fish off. We'll carry on fishing with this last rod. Got a couple more baits left to put out. See, now that rod is whipping round to the right. I need to pull that in now. So we'll do that now. And that's with a great eye on it. This is what Tom had down in Bay 20 and he packed in. This is what happened to my last rod. So it would have been pulled round to, oh, I'll talk to you in a minute. Shouting at the bloody camera. I'll tell you what I'll do. Yeah, what I was saying was, I would have had all this weed on that last one that I just lost, and it got pulled to the right, which would have got tangled up in that pipe that's to the right. And because of all the weight of the weed and I'm pulling it in, I can't get the weight up. So I'd have just dragged it all into that pipe work. And hence I lost my rig. Are you joking? Sake. I just pulled that. And it's just got tangled up right down there, look. See it? You might be able to see it. After slipping down there and falling, I don't know if I mentioned that. But I slipped down there and fell on my back. Since then, I'm a bit iffy about walking down there. One little farty up. An idiot. I'd just like to say to all those people out there that give it a good yank on their fishing rods, well, all well and good. I know you got to yank it to get it up off the seabed, but these bloody sharp hooks that I've put on there seem to dig into everything and hook it. It weren't the weight that was snagged, it was the little hooks. Right, well, if I make it round, I'll see you back round. If not, for God's sake, phone somebody, because I'm going to be laid over there, sprawled out on my back. Don't know if I've mentioned that, like. I'd say that's probably the last cast, to be honest. Found that I'd have to go over the side. I don't really want to go over the side, I'm cold. I'm looking forward to getting my frying pan out and having a sausage sandwich as a treat. I have had to change. So anyhow, we've got a squid head and black lug out. I've shown you the rig. That's out there now. It's only out there short. Let's see what happens. Let's hope there's not too much weed. On a different line, I've had to lose weight. I haven't had to lose, well, I have had to lose weight because I'm a fat git. But my sugar levels were high, so I was getting close to type 2. I was borderline for type 2 diabetic. My sugar levels were at 43. I guess that dropped right down now because had hardly any sugar. I don't eat chocolate, don't eat what was I eating in sugar? Well, I've just stopped eating sugar, so I don't have sugar on anything now. I don't eat any chocolate, I don't eat any sweets. That's the main thing. That's what I was bad for. Mints, don't eat them, so I don't eat any of that. So my sugar levels should have plummeted. The other thing is my cholesterol was 7.3 and it should be 5. So I've got 3 months to get that down a bit, and then I guess we'll take it from there. So hopefully if I can get it down and change the way we eat and our habit. Yeah, so my cholesterol, I've got 3 months to get it down. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. We are eating more vegetables now, and obviously with the sugar and chocolate and all that sort of stuff, should be getting better. If not, then they'll just stick me on statins, won't they? I don't think there's too much to worry about that anymore. If I can do it myself and reduce it, so be it. But the secondary effect of all this is that I'm now losing weight. I think I was around about 88 kilos, 88 and a half, something like that. Could have been 87, but I was around that mark. Last time I weighed myself, and I never got any slimmer, was 87 and a half. I think I put more weight on. But I weighed myself this weekend, which was yesterday on the 18th, and I weighed 82 kilos dead. So that's a lot. 2 weekends ago I weighed myself and I was 83.7, so I'm actually losing weight quite healthily, and it's just dropping off because we've changed our diet. We don't eat chocolate, we don't eat sweets. That don't mean that come Christmas time for a couple of days we won't be having the odd chocolate. And I've bought a big 3 kilo jar of cinnamon chews because I bloody love them. And I ain't going to eat all them because my mouth will be on fire. And I've got lager to drink as well. That's another thing I don't drink now. I don't drink hardly any lager. I think in the last six and a half weeks, it might be 7 now, I've probably had about 5 or 6 cans. Now I know it sounds like I'm having a can a week, which is quite a lot. But for the first 3.5, 4 weeks I never had a can at all. So if I have a can of drink, then I just have 1 can. It's not 4 cans a night like it was. So yeah, it's an update on my health. Hopefully this portly belly will go, but what I've noticed with my stomach is that doesn't disappear until I get around about 78 kilos. So I've got a long way to go yet, a long way. There seems to be this cut-off point where you get into the 70s and then suddenly you look slim, but until then I'll just look like a fat git. Oh, and the physio bloke, even though he never put his hands on me to manipulate me and try and free things up because he said it would make it worse, which I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, he said lose weight because it'll help your hip. I think that's just an easy thing for them to say, isn't it? But don't worry. If you subscribe to this channel because you like it and you click that bell notification for all notifications so you know when I put a video up or when I go live, I will be drinking copious amounts of alcohol in a live whilst doing dangerous stuff. There will be a disclaimer saying do not do this, but that's me, Dangerous Vern. See you in a bit when I'm yanking this, swearing at it because I've got snagged up again. Here we are, daylight at long last at the River Humber. The time now is 8:25. I've been chatting to a few people, got some good information, and I've now got a bait supplier. That's right, yeah, I've just been chatting to a chap that I can buy bait off, so who supplies other people, so I'm going to get it at a good price as well, so chuffed with that. Right chuffed with that, in fact. So it's been a good night. It's been nice being here. I've had the excitement, if you can call it excitement, of fishing, of sleeping in the van again on a cold night, which I survived. which when I go further north it'll be good. I'll be able to survive. And we've been there, been fishing. I've caught one dab. They've had a couple of whiting. Tom's had 4 whiting and a flounder, and I've had 1 dab. It's just the way it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's just the way it is. But it's been a nice session. Hooked up down there, got a bit cursed, fell over. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I fell over straight onto my back. Hopefully it's feeling all right at the minute, but hopefully it won't affect me. I've chucked all my used bait down here. The seagulls come here until I walk close. They just clear it all up, and it gives them something to eat as well. So yeah, let's get this last rod reeled in. I'll put you up here. I'm gonna risk life and limb. I'm still here. You'll not see me for a minute, but my line is going down there. I got some weed on it. It's gone slack. What I'm going to do is go over. That shouldn't fall. No, it's dropped out, hasn't it? So that's it. Using that bolt roll, but it don't get any better.
You know when you're on about them fucking whales yard being a bit fucking knocking?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it looks alright, doesn't it? That's me done. I'm going to come back later, I reckon. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. With elastic.
You know, save your fucking waste. Like today, when you put them on needles, just fucking bunch up.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
It's still natural work.
Yeah.
You still tip off the skin as well, if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'll do, probably. That's right, all right. You packing up then?
Yeah. If I'm not using two ups on fucking days, fucking big beats got work like it.
Yeah, I do that now. I use a bead with a bit of silicone tube behind the pedal hook as well. Because sometimes that moves, doesn't it? Some people tell you big baits, doesn't it? Other people say small waves. It all depends on the fish there, doesn't it?
Well, if you're fishing till fucking rod, you know, alright, one big, one small.
Well, I had a big one and I had me 3 flat rods. So. Right, sorry about that. Yeah, nothing on it. I've had enough. I ain't fishing anymore. Toes getting cold now. I should have left there by now anyhow, because I said to the wife that I'd be home for like 9 o'clock and it's gone 8:30 now. So I'm going to pack this away and decide whether I'm going to have a sausage butty. If I have a sausage butty, you will see that. You will see me cooking a sausage butty. I think I might do actually. I've got a bit of a trek home because I've shut down the motorway for, I think they're putting speed cameras up for whatever reason. Jesus Christ, more cameras. So it's going to be a pain in the ass getting into Grimsby now. So I've been told a different route home and that should avoid it all. So I'm going to try that out and go that way home today. We'll see what that's like. Yeah, I think you're going to have to cut that bit, Tom, because I was like deliberating then about, or deliberating, or even thinking about something. And that is, I might do the see you laters now. And if you see me again, I'll just be cooking. So what I'm going to say is, if you've got this far, thank you very much. If you ain't got this far, then why not? Why ain't you got this far? I don't know. I'm only messing. Now, thank you for getting this far. If you like this video, or if you even liked 2 minutes of it, and this is the 2 minutes you see, please subscribe. Ring the bell for notification, leave us a comment and give us a thumbs up and share my videos. It's not much to ask in life. I'm only an old man. I ain't got long to go. We'll be dead one day. And you'll just make me happy. Just make an old man before he dies happy. And that's me. I'm an old man before I'm dead. So yeah. So yeah. If you've got this far, thank you very much. And I'll see you in the next one. The next one might be on this river, but somewhere else. It could be here on this river, because I've been given another mark, which is somewhere else. I ain't having much luck here, am I? I'm trying. I am trying. I'm coming here at stupid times. I'm sleeping in the van, so I catch the tide right, but I did have a sleep today and missed it by about 3/4 of an hour really. But then, I don't know if I mentioned it, when I went over the side there, I fell over onto my back, so it's probably a good job I didn't fish down there in these boots. I should put my new ones on, but I didn't want cold feet again. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Next time you see me, I'll be fishing, and it'll either be at the Stally Wall, because at this time of year, probably the best place to be, or it'll be a different mark. But you won't see me on the Holderness coast on them cliffs, because they're dangerous. And I've had enough of falling down and hurting myself, because it's happening there as well now. So we'll see you later. Get it in between her legs, because it's all wet.